Thanks to everyone for coming out tonight, Sean shouted into the microphone. He strummed a great big chord on his guitar and shouted, "It is so really great to be here, yeah!" He pumped his fist in the air and strummed another power chord on his guitar. From the audience, there was no response. Hi, I'm Neil A. Yeager, and today I'm reading from my novel, Non-Hollywood. This is Chapter 9, How to Become a Rock Star. Earlier in the day, Sean had managed to drag his roommates out of the apartment somehow. Well, not somehow. He had gotten them out of the apartment by promising them plenty of beer. Though he wasn't exactly sure how he could afford to actually make that happen, since his Malibu kickboxing classes were leaving him pretty broke. Is this how to become a rock star? Sean didn't know, but he did know that he needed the guys up and out of the apartment so that he could form them into a loose backing band for his gig tonight. So, step 1 had been accomplished. With the help of Icon, the tiny girl downstairs, he had sent email announcements to his list and posted the gig to his social media accounts. He momentarily dreamed of all 150,127 of his followers showing up for the show. Then he remembered that 150,000 of those followers weren't actually real. He had paid someone to hack in and create them. And actually 123 of the others were follow for follow, so they weren't exactly what you would call real either. His mom and her friends were real. Thank you, Mom, you're the best. But they were also in Wisconsin. Damn it, Mom, why are you in Wisconsin? Still, the thought of 150,127 people all showing up had given him a momentary thrill. Step 2 had been accomplished. He had made the long-assed round trip out to Orange County to retrieve Barry's drum kit from Barry's parents' house. Luckily, they did that during the afternoon hours when Barry's dad was still at work. Barry and his dad were on such bad terms that Sean had seriously worried about getting shot if the man had been home. But this was worth the risk, definitely worth the risk to become a rock star. Step 3 was much more of a pain, but had also been accomplished. Get all the guys awake and sober at the same time. Christ, that one was tricky, but he had done it. The gig was at the club in Silver Lake, where Sean worked on Thursday nights. He wasn't a regular employee there, but the club needed extra help on Thursday nights, as the place was known for doing a big thing on Thursdays, featuring lots of bands. Thursdays at the club were something of an LA tradition. Thursdays were hugely popular. Thursdays had great bands. Thursdays drew lots of fans. Thursdays even had some celebrities showing up. And Sean had almost gotten fired for trying to touch the hat of a well-known guitarist. Thursdays were good times. Thursdays rocked. Sean was playing on a Wednesday. Wednesdays were dead. But after bugging the manager for the close to 3 months that he'd been working one night a week there, Sean had finally gotten the call. 2 bands had pulled out of Wednesday night, and the manager needed someone, anyone, to come in and play to the crickets. So, the manager had called Sean. Sean had accepted, and Sean didn't plan on blowing it. Step 4 had been accomplished. He had made up tabs for each of his songs so that the guys knew how the songs went. Then they had done a few quick run-throughs at the apartment. Now, these were some good musicians, so they caught on to the songs pretty quickly and should be able to pull off the semblance of being an actual band. If he could keep Barry from getting completely wasted before they actually got there, that is. No small task there. Step 5 had been accomplished. Keep the guys from wandering off during the afternoon and get them transported to the club. This step had actually proven to be quite difficult, as they had lost Paul for about an hour. And while Sean was off searching for Paul, who had gone to the 7-Eleven for a burrito, the others had gone back inside the apartment and Barry had dozed off again. Then, after they had all loaded up in the car and had gone about 15 miles, Paul announced that he had left his guitar at the apartment. Jesus. But eventually, Sean had gotten them all and all of their equipment to the club. They had managed to drag all the equipment up on the stage, and the stupid drum kit that they had driven all the way out to Orange County and risked gaping gunshot wounds to retrieve turned out to have a broken head on the kick drum. And of course, Barry didn't have an extra one. Barry didn't have anything other than a keen desire to drink as much as possible. The problem with Barry was that he had grown up as a rich kid and therefore had no clue how to operate in the real world after his father had kicked him out and stopped putting money in his bank account. Step 6. Get everything set up. Well, without a kick drum, there would be no low end, and that would sound pretty odd. Oh well, such was rock and roll. But he supposed that step 6 could be checked off as completed. He could still be a rock star without a kick drum. Now it was time for step 7, the actual gig. Sean looked out at the club and saw exactly 3 customers. One of them was Icon, the girl who lived downstairs from him and had helped him with his email list, which was odd, as she was under 21 and must have snuck in. Besides Icon and the other 2 customers, there were a couple of bored-looking waitresses, and a bored-looking bouncer, and a bored-looking bartender. Oh, and the manager, who, truth be told, also looked pretty bored. Sean looked out at the crowd. It was a far cry from 150,127, but hell, he thought, you have to start somewhere. Only Rome was built in a day, right? Sean muttered under his breath, I deserve to be famous, damn it. Then he stepped up to the mic, took a deep breath, and launched into his first song. Here we go.